The moment Tulsi Gabbard dared to question the establishment, she was branded an enemy of the state. A decorated veteran and former rising star of the Democratic Party, Gabbard was suddenly labeled a threat to national security simply for speaking the truth. This isn't fiction, it's reality, and it's exactly what the powers that be didn't want you to hear. Now, the truth was about to come out. As Tulsi stepped into the hearing room, the entire place fell silent. Every eye, every camera, every microphone was fixed directly on her. She wasn't there to play politics, she was there to expose it. The establishment had tried everything, lies, smears, threats, to silence her, but here she was, live before millions, armed with raw truth. The tension was electric. America was watching, waiting, because in the next few minutes, secrets buried by the FBI and Democrats were about to surface, and nothing would ever be the same again. The room was packed. Cameras lined the walls, broadcasting every second to millions across the country. The air was thick with tension. On one side, Democratic lawmakers, intelligence officials, and bureaucrats sat stiffly, their expressions unreadable. On the other side stood Tulsi Gabbard, alone but unshaken, ready to speak. She leaned into the microphone, her voice steady but her words cutting like a blade. "I used to believe in this system," she began. "I used to think the people in power were here to serve the American people, but I was wrong." A murmur rippled through the chamber. Some exchanged glances, others shifted uncomfortably in their seats. "I was one of them," she continued. "I sat in the meetings. I listened to their plans. I saw the games they played behind closed doors. And I believed for a time that we were doing the right thing. That is, until I started asking the wrong questions." She let the words hang in the silence. "They don't like people who ask questions," she said, her voice dropping lower. "They don't like people who don't follow the script. And when you step out of line, they come for you." Someone cleared their throat. A Democratic senator leaned forward, tapping his pen against the desk. "Miss Gabbard, let's be clear." She didn't let him finish. "No," she said, locking eyes with him. "Let's be clear. I sat in this very room side by side with many of you, thinking we were working for the good of the country. But what I saw, what I learned, is that this system isn't built to serve the people. It's built to protect itself, to protect you." The senator opened his mouth and closed it. The camera zoomed in. This was the moment the public had been waiting for. Tulsi took a deep breath. "You see, the truth isn't complicated. It's simple, and that's why it terrifies them." She scanned the room, then spoke. "I was part of the Democratic Party. I was celebrated, until I questioned the narrative. I was invited to every major media platform, until I refused to repeat the talking points. I was promised a future in politics, until I exposed the corruption inside my own party." She paused, then delivered a single sentence that sent a chill through the room. "And if they could do that to me, imagine what they can do to you." The chamber fell dead silent. The weight of her words hung over them. This wasn't politics as usual. This was something different. She folded her hands, looking straight into the cameras. "They don't want this hearing to happen. They don't want me to speak. And they certainly don't want the American people to hear what I have to say." A beat. But here we are. The tension was suffocating. Tulsi leaned back slightly. "So let's begin. Let's talk about the FBI," she said clearly. "Specifically, let's discuss their illegal surveillance of President Trump's campaign advisor, Carter Page." Immediately, a Democratic senator leaned into his microphone. "Miss Gabbard, careful now. These are serious allegations." Tulsi didn't hesitate. "They're more than allegations, Senator. They're documented facts. The FBI obtained warrants using the Steele dossier, fully aware that it was funded by Hillary Clinton's campaign. They knew the information was fabricated, yet they pushed forward anyway." A Republican senator jumped in. "Do you have proof?" Tulsi lifted a document, turning it slightly toward the cameras. "This is the declassified FISA application itself. It explicitly cites the Steele dossier as key evidence, a dossier everyone at the FBI knew was fake, James Comey, Andrew McCabe, Peter Strzok, they were all aware of this deception, yet they signed off regardless. The Democratic senator's voice tightened, frustration evident. Miss Gabbard, you're painting a conspiracy theory here. This isn't theory, she cut in sharply. This is reality. They manipulated America's most powerful surveillance court to spy on a political opponent. They didn't just break the rules, they sabotaged democracy itself. The senator's tone hardened. You're suggesting our intelligence,